In Japan, some Michelin-starred restaurants are almost impossible to find. No Michelin sign outside, no English, just a curtain and a master chef inside. This is Sushi Kappo Nakaichi in Kyoto. Hi guys, I'm Anya. Welcome to my restaurant review series where I hunt down the world's most unique and sometimes most hidden dining experiences. Today we're in the deep back streets of Kyoto at one of the city's most traditional Michelin-starred restaurants. Sushi Kappo Nakaichi has held one Michelin star for years. The restaurant was founded back in 1970 and was one of the first places in Kyoto to combine traditional high-end sushi with Kappo-style cooking, where much of the preparation happens right in front of you at the counter. The restaurant has been passed down through generations, and even today, the atmosphere still feels traditional and family-run. Instead of relying on flashy branding and trends, the focus here is completely on precision, technique, and the quality of the ingredients. Finding the place is a mission. It's located in Gion, Kyoto's historic geisha district, an area known for its traditional atmosphere and hidden restaurants. Gion is also famous for its Ichigen-san Kotowari culture, which traditionally meant no first-time visitors without an introduction. While Nakaichi is open to the public, it still has that exclusive members-only feeling. There are no Michelin signs outside, no glossy photos of tuna, just an urn curtain and Japanese kanji, the traditional Japanese characters. Even with Google Maps and reservation made well in advance, we still walked past the entrance like 3 times because from the outside it looks just like a regular building. Now let's talk about the booking process. We spent weeks stressing about availability, assuming a Michelin-starred restaurant in Kyoto would be almost impossible to get into. And honestly, part of the stress came from the reservation system itself. A lot of high-end restaurants in Japan don't handle foreign bookings directly, so you often end up using third-party reservation platforms. Many of them charge booking or service fees, and it's common to see restaurants marked as fully booked almost instantly. At the restaurant, we were told that we could have simply asked our hotel to book it for us, instead of spending weeks worrying about the reservation websites. We were also told that dinner reservations here are usually extremely difficult to get and often fully booked. Lunch, however, was a completely different story. In fact, we ended up having the entire counter to ourselves. Apparently going for lunch at a sushi place like this just isn't that common. Inside the restaurant is very minimalistic, with hinoki wood counters, soft lighting, and almost no distractions. And because we were the only guests here, the whole experience felt incredibly quiet and personal. Most of the meal was spent listening to the sound of the chef preparing each piece right in front of us. The menu here is kept very simple, omakase only. There were 2 options. The standard menu at 30,250 yen, which is around 190 US dollars, and the premium at 42,350 yen, or about $270. The premium includes more luxurious and seasonal ingredients, so that's the one we decided to go for. There's no wine pairing here, which honestly isn't that unusual for a sushi restaurant like this. Most people drink sake, but we personally prefer champagne with our sushi, so we went for a bottle of champagne instead. The meal started with the chef preparing hairy crab or kegani right in front of us. It was served with okra and a silky egg sauce and looked almost like edible art. The sweet crab and rich egg sauce worked beautifully together, while the okra kept it fresh and light. While we were eating that, we could already see the chef preparing fish for the next courses right in front of us. He carefully sliced red snapper, removed the skin with incredible precision, and cut the fish so smoothly it almost looked effortless. He also showed us beautiful cuts of tuna, including Chutoro and richly marbled Otoro, before slicing them behind the counter. At the same time, we were served some of the more Kappo-style elements of the meal, including a crisp tempura of Maitake mushroom and striped jack. The batter was impossibly thin and delicate, and the chef told us to eat it simply with salt. The next part of the meal was the Sashimi Course, and this was where we really got to watch the chef finish the plate right in front of us. Every piece was placed with so much precision and attention to detail that it genuinely looked like art. He carefully arranged each slice one by one, balancing the colors and textures across the plate in a way that almost felt too beautiful to eat. Watching the presentation slowly come together was honestly part of the experience itself.
Fish, the red snapper.
Red snapper.
A medium fatty tuna, tiger shrimp, and steamed abalones. Abalone pepper sauce, the salty kelp. Salty kelp is used for red snapper instead of soy sauce.
Okay.
Or soy sauce.
Okay.
It's up to you.
The real highlight for us was the steamed abalone served with a rich liver sauce. This was one of the moments where the Michelin Star really started to make sense. Then the nigiri part of the meal began. First, we watched the chef carefully slice tuna, horse mackerel, and scallop right in front of us before shaping each piece of nigiri by hand. Watching him work made the whole process look unbelievably effortless, even though every movement was incredibly precise. The first piece was a squid nigiri finished with freshly squeezed calamansi. Then came the scallop nigiri, which is personally one of my favorite types of nigiri. The chef sliced the scallop into thin layers so it wrapped perfectly around the rice, giving it an incredibly soft mouthfeel.
Scallop.
Then came Otoro, the fattiest part of the tuna. It was so rich and soft that it almost completely disappeared the second it touched your tongue. Then came Uni, or premium sea urchin from Hokkaido. Another one of my favorites with an incredibly rich and creamy texture. Then, between the nigiri courses, we were served some grilled fish. Unfortunately, I can't remember exactly what fish it was, but it was really good. Then came sweet shrimp, or Amaebi, with a delicate texture and natural sweetness.
Sweet shrimp.
Then came horse mackerel nigiri. The chef added a touch of ginger and green onion on top to balance the natural oiliness of the fish. Then came striped jack nigiri. It was firm, clean in flavor, and brushed with just a light touch of the house-made soy sauce.
Striped jack.
Then came another piece of Otoro, this time lightly torched. I could actually smell it before eating it while the chef was preparing it behind the counter. It had an incredibly slightly smoky aroma, while still keeping that soft, melting texture. Then came Amadai, or tailfish, which is considered a Kyoto specialty.
Amadai is the most popular fish in Kyoto.
Before the final pieces, we were served a traditional soup. We were told to first drink the broth on its own to appreciate the dashi before eating the ingredients inside, including mushrooms and chives. Then the nigiri continued, and next came chutoro, or medium fatty tuna, with a texture that was still rich and buttery, but lighter and more delicate than the otoro. Then came Ikura, or salmon roe sushi, with a very fresh, briny flavor that tasted intensely of the ocean. Then came prawn nigiri, incredibly fresh and full of flavor. Then came anago, or sea eel. It was simmered until it was almost falling apart and glazed with a thick sweet unagi sauce that gave it so much flavor. Then the chef started preparing sushi rolls in front of us. One was made with fatty tuna and pickled daikon radish, while the other included arc shell and cucumber. Watching him roll and cut everything with such precision was honestly so fascinating to watch. The sushi portion ended with tamago, which was sweet and almost cake-like. Finally, we were served Japanese tea and dessert. Dessert included fresh pear, muscat grapes, and green tea ice cream with red bean.
And muscat. And this is green tea ice cream with Japanese red beans.
Ah, okay.
And this one is by hand, regular sandwich.
The service here felt very traditional and incredibly focused. It was just us, the chef, and one apprentice working quietly behind the counter. The whole experience felt very professional and intimate. The chef explained every fish carefully, answered all our questions, and also guided us on how certain pieces should be eaten, sometimes with salt, sometimes with soy sauce, sometimes together with kelp or other toppings, and sometimes completely on their own. The atmosphere never felt stiff or overly formal. Despite having one Michelin star, there were no sommelier or overly scripted interactions. Everything felt quiet, relaxed, and completely centered around the foods and the experience itself. So, is Sushi Kappo Nakaichi worth the $270 price tag? I think that depends on what you're looking for. This isn't the type of Michelin star restaurants that focuses on highly experimental dishes or unusual flavor combinations. Everything here felt very clean, precise, and deeply traditional. The presentations were beautiful, but the focus was always on the quality of the fish itself, the knife work, the rice, and the technique behind every single piece, rather than trying to overwhelm you with too many different elements. If you're looking for a loud, social, trendy fine dining experience, this probably isn't for you. But if you want to disappear into a quiet corner of Kyoto and spend a few hours watching the chef at a Michelin star restaurant completely dedicating himself to what he does, then yes, it's absolutely worth experiencing at least once. And with that, we reach the end of today's video. If you like this review, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's a lot more restaurants, travel, and other contents coming soon. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.